week has been pretty long, kind of intense. I've started drinking coffee again, and I think that was my first mistake because I'm not used to it when I don't drink it for ages, and then when I start drinking it again, my body is like, whoa, and I go crazy, and then I just kind of drop. So I feel pretty worn out. But you know, I've been catching up on sleep this weekend and doing a lot of study. So yeah, overall this last week was quite busy. I had like a test. I had 2 tests actually, and I've been doing a lot of prep for the stuff coming up for this next week, which I have a suspicion it's going to be a lot more full on, obviously, because I've got my presentation and an exam. So yeah, I'm getting ready for that. Trying to maintain positive attitude and just be as prepared as possible, and whatever happens will happen. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's been the last couple of, well, this last week and what I'm preparing for next week. So I'm not 100% sure I've really talked about what I'm actually studying this semester. I don't think I have. As you know, I'm studying psychology overall, but the units I'm doing this semester are social psych, cognitive psych, and health psychology. And they're a lot harder than the ones I did last semester, or at least cognitive psych is, but they're very interesting. I'm really enjoying all of them. Cognitive psych I do find a bit more of a challenge, but overall they were pretty good. They were quite interesting. So in social psych we're looking at some really interesting concepts, and if you ever have the opportunity to study social psych or read a social psych textbook, I strongly recommend it, because the stuff you can get out from it is stuff that happens in your everyday life. Like we're looking at prejudice, in-groups and out-groups, conformity, cognitive dissonance, which is really interesting. Yeah, just amazing stuff. And then in cognitive psych, the content is quite heavy in every single lecture, but we're looking at, you know, how we encode information into our brain, how we perceive things, how we have an intentional blind spot, you know, how we're not actually that good at remembering things or taking in things as we think we are. So, you know, that's a good one to know for when you're driving. You're not always taking in as much as you think you are, so be careful on the roads. And in health psych we're learning about stress and the body, which has been a great thing for me to learn, because I can get quite stressed, so now I know what's going on in my body. And last week we looked at sleep, which was fascinating. There was so much about it that I didn't realise. Like, you have to lower your body temperature to fall asleep. And there's a lot of stuff out there that says don't have a hot bath before you go to bed. And this is a lie. It's actually a good thing to have a hot bath or a hot shower before you go to bed, because when you step out of the bath or shower, your body temperature instantly drops, and it works as like a catalyst to help you get that well-deserved sleep. So take that hot bath if you want to before you go to bed. I know I would, because but yeah, so all the subjects I'm doing are really interesting, and I really like them. So in terms of the assessment, I know it's different at every uni, but yeah, in terms of what it's like at the ANU, I've done a bit of the arts, I did a bit of my IR degree, I'm doing a lot of my psych degrees, I'm doing a lot of the science, so I have kind of a general idea of what it's like, but in my opinion of what it's like for me, I guess, there's 3 kind of waves of the assessment, and in the first wave it happens towards the end of the first half of the semester, when you've got a whole lot of stuff due before you go on your break. So that's what I'm experiencing now. So I've had like a few tests, I've got an exam, and I've got a presentation. And then in the second wave, it's kind of more like your long-term projects, like your lab reports and your essays. So I've got two lab reports and I've got a big essay, all due kind of when I get back from my break in the weeks after that. And then the last wave is exam period, pretty much, if you have exams. So that's kind of the most serious one because the exams are generally worth the most, and that sort of happens at the very end, and they give you like another week to or at ANU they give you like another week to prepare for that. So that's kind of what the assessment is like in general. Pretty standard. And yeah, in terms of keeping up with it, I've talked about this before, but it's really just taking one step at a time and trying not to let it overwhelm you, which I've been guilty of. It can be really hard, but yeah, when you finish something and you've put a lot of hard work into it and you do well in it, that's a really good feeling to have. So hold on to that. And the other thing too is uni is different for everyone. You might be at uni to just pass and that's all you need is your degree to do the job you want to do. Or maybe you're aiming to get distinctions so that you can try and get into honours, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. But it's different for everyone, so at the end of the day, just enjoy the learning process and enjoy your time at uni, because it's also a fun time. It's a fun experience, and you know, make the most of that. So make the most of being a student, because the adult world is a whole different place. I know because I've taken a semester off and worked full time before. I know what it's like, and it's another world. So make the most of your student life, and I'm going to talk to you guys next week when it'll be the start of the break and I would finish my cognitive psych exam. Yes. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.